Here we are over beer episode 6. I got my dude Tyler joining me. We're going to talk a little Joker. What's going on, man?
Oh, just living the dream like usual, man.
So we're coming off an evening of seeing the Joker. We caught the 6 p.m. premiere last night. So Thursday, you'll be seeing this probably on Saturday. I guess, what were your thoughts? I think that was one of the better movies I've seen in a long time.
Nope, hands down. No, I was definitely had high expectations going in and definitely exceeded it, for sure.
So I went in because I didn't want to be disappointed. I went in with mediocre expectations, hoping for the best, and literally it blew me away.
Yeah.
I think I've said this to you off the camera, but my best movie of 2019 to this point.
Yeah.
So.
No, I could agree with that.
Okay. I knew I oddly asked you, and I'm just curious to see, like, the first word that came to mind, like, when you walked out of the theater after seeing the Joker. Did you do that?
Yes, I did.
All right, what do you got?
So, at first, I know we were talking in the theater about it, what I said before, but I'm going to take that out of context. I'm going to go with chaos.
Chaos is the fairest word I think you can go with.
Yeah.
So, okay, you went chaos. My term was birth. And with that being said, it was the birth of the Joker. So obviously Arthur Fleck was the main character of the Joker. You got to really struggle with his trials and tribulations.
Mm-hmm.
Guy had a real shit life, frankly.
Yeah.
And like I think one of the taglines, a cautionary tale.
Yes.
And I think that's 100% accurate.
Yeah.
Because the Joker was born. So,
Mm-hmm.
so chaos. How much chaos did we see, Tyler?
I mean, at first, not so much. I mean, it was, I guess, a little slow going into it, you could say, in a way. But,
Yeah.
it makes sense. You got to see where the dude's coming from, understandable. Yeah. But then towards the end, it's a whole another level. Then it definitely picks up. So,
yeah.
Little nuts.
They do a really good job. They, like, paint the picture of his life. You really get to see where he's coming from. An average dude with, like, obviously some clear mental issues. Mm-hmm. And then he just loses his shit. So, yeah, awesome movie. We'll dive into it deeper, but I was just curious to see kind of where you were with that word. Chaos is great. We're going to review a beer while we're chatting. So I'm in a fall theme, pumpkin theme. It's like my thing. I picked up another, so it's a Trader Joe's brewery, so another Trader Joe's beer. It's just convenient at work. This one's called Howling Gourds. Kind of a neat little illustration, just a bunch of jack-o'-lanterns laughing, it looks like. So
pumpkin patch of some sort, you could say.
Yeah, maybe that 7% has something to do with it getting a little buzzy.
Yeah, basically.
Laughing with some pumpkin buddies. So 7% ABV, 24 IBU, so a little bit on the lighter side for the bitterness from what we've seen. I'll be curious to see how this one rolls. So if you want to take first sip, Tyler, and just give me just initial thoughts to start, and then we'll talk more about it later.
So it's definitely lighter.
Yeah.
I like it more than Shipyard Pumpkinhead. That's for true.
Yep.
Yeah, I got burnt out on that stuff, so way too much pumpkin in there. But it's a little lighter, so I like more, I guess, not so much pumpkin, but like a little hint of it is definitely good.
So I don't know if you caught it, spicy beer. Did you get that after, like, almost paprika taste? Like a
little bit, yeah.
Like almost a nutmeg hint. That's pretty good, honestly. I don't know. A lot of the fall beers, like, they either overdo the pumpkin or they don't do enough. This one's like kind of in the middle. So
yeah.
All right. I enjoy it. We'll continue to sip it and we'll see kind of what we think as we go. But we'll dive back into, obviously, the Joker. We're coming off the premiere. So just throw a few things out there that really stood out in this movie. Anything that shocked you? What sort of, I guess, thrills did you get out of it?
I guess just learning more about his backstory. Mm-hmm. I mean, especially finding out where, his mom was coming from. I mean, coming into the movie too, seeing where they were living. I mean, definitely poverty, bad situation. He had a really shitty life. So, but his mom was even kind of the same like he was. So it was kind of like, all right, like, this is a little interesting. So that was kind of a big, like, takeaway for me. Like, that kind of maybe influenced it a little bit. Of course, Robert De Niro being in it was pretty cool as well too. But
no spoilers there, but De Niro's character is hilarious.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
I have a question, and this is light spoiler, so it's not going to ruin anything. But did you actually believe the adoption paperwork with his mom? You'll see in the movie, like, there's basically the Wayne family. The mom's claiming the father of Bruce was also the father of Arthur. But he's basically pushes it all away. Arthur's adopted. But if you see it, it's almost got the Stranger Things vibe, Eleven's mom, where like they basically drive her crazy because she knows it's her kid, but they're saying it's not. I don't know. I just got a vibe that she really was the mom, and obviously the Waynes were into something.
I mean, definitely. Thomas Wayne is a billionaire, so it's like he figured, if he's just going to pay her off, he's going to slide it under the rug and be like, you know what, I messed up. Like, I had an affair with this woman. Oh, we had a kid. That's not my kid, and she's crazy, and she's going to say all this stuff. So that's what I thought. I'm like, this is his kid, and I'm like, wait a minute. So Batman and the Joker are technically like stepbrothers or something?
I guess even like more like closer than stepbrothers. They'd be like half brothers because they share a parent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, I don't know. Watch out, Will Ferrell.
Yeah, right?
That would be kind of an interesting concept, especially like with the Batman movie coming up. If they played off of that and the Joker could prove he was Batman's half-brother, how wild would that be? Just kind of a revenge story because your brother is a billionaire and you grew up in poverty and your dad was basically a dick to your mom, who you killed.
Yeah.
So that's a spoiler. Cover your ears there. Check out the movie. You won't know unless you really see it. But yeah, that was kind of neat. Another thing that really stood out to me, and it's towards the latter part of the movie, this isn't going to spoil much, but there's a few other clowns in the movie, and one of them Arthur kind of has beef with. Randall essentially gives Arthur the gun that will eventually be a big part of the movie. Big fat clown acts like he's doing this guy a favor when in reality he knows he's nuts.
Oh, yeah.
He's coming back to essentially, I guess, have Arthur turn himself in or keep himself out of trouble.
Yeah.
And Arthur, like, brutally beats him down. Like, one of the more brutal scenes I've seen in modern film.
Yeah.
I believe he shoots him first and then slams his head off the side of the concrete wall a few times.
He grabs some scissors.
Oh, was it scissors?
Okay. Goes right into them, goes to town, and then the head right against. Yeah.
And it's beautiful. And this sounds morbid, but Arthur's got like a white mask painted. He's getting ready for his Murray show appearance. Basically slamming the guy's head into the wall, the concrete, and just blood splatter coming onto his white face, almost like a canvas type moment. So artistic in a freaking brutal way.
Yeah.
That was pretty awesome.
That was awesome. I mean, that dude was a douche anyways, too, because he's like pretending like he's like, yeah, I'm like your friend and everything, but really there's like, whatever, this dude's crazy.
Honestly, a lot of like dark, humorous moments, a lot of like very brutal moments in this movie. So like, honestly, if you're like, I don't know, timid to brutality, maybe go into it just knowing to expect.
It's a little more violent than you would think it would be, like, I guess.
Some gunshot moments, but they're loud gunshots, so it makes it real.
Yeah.
Kind of sketchy seeing a premiere with some of the moments that were going on there.
Yeah, all the cops. Yeah. And I walked in the movie theater and 5 cops sitting right there in the movie theater. They were,
I mean, if you're going to see it in theaters because it's like it's a well done movie. It's very artistic. It's like everything about it. It's amazing. I guess where would you rate Joaquin Phoenix's performance in some of the previous Jokers?
I mean, it's tough with him and Heath Ledger, of course, because Heath Ledger is the joke. I mean, his Joker is such an iconic Joker. Obviously, he definitely like set the tone for that role and really like upped the ante with that because he's batshit crazy in that movie. I mean, he locked himself in a hotel room for a month to prepare for the role. So it's like, all right, like it makes sense why what happened after. But
damn good job.
I mean, compared to the other Jokers, like Jack Nicholson, I could really care less about. I mean, I would have Heath Ledger has a soft spot for me. I think he's still up there in the top, but Joaquin Phoenix would probably be like a close second, I would think. They're like really close, though.
I definitely agree, and I think we talked about this briefly. We do a trivia thing at work. So like for me, one of the GOAT Jokers, Mark Hamill, it's an animated movie, voice, so I don't really count it. Like voice, awesome performance. Cesar Romero, he was there in like the '60s movie. don't even know if I've seen it, but the face is iconic, so
Yeah,
I recognize that like
Joker.
grin.
Yeah.
Yes, I think that's where it originated, kind of. Obviously, you got Heath Ledger, the GOAT, in my opinion. But Joaquin Phoenix came super close to it.
Yeah, no, he definitely did. I mean, to him to like be able to get in such character in that role, like losing all the weight he did to get into that, like
Yeah.
I understand why it could drive someone crazy being in that role, playing a person who is crazy.
There was moments like you could just see his skin and bones popping out. He looked like, his back literally like
Him just sitting on the couch too, like stretching out too. I was just like, you could see everything.
Like the first scene in the locker room, like when he was like getting his
shoes.
clown costume. Yeah. So
like that. Pretty gross.
He must have had a phenomenal trainer, and I hope he lives after that because
I hope he ate just like a ton after like the set of this and like put on some like weight just to be like healthy again because he's probably struggling.
It was scary.
Yeah.
I was like scared for him watching because he's just chain ripping butts the whole time too, and you really can't act that. You know what I mean? So his health is probably not looking good.
Yeah.
So Phoenix did an awesome job. Yeah, I would go honestly probably. Caesar fourth if we're going like live action Jokers. Third, you got obviously Jack Nicholson, who he did a really good job. He was more like an older chubby mobster, so it's kind of hard to like fear him.
Yeah.
Phoenix, not really the more fearful of the Jokers, but probably the most morbid in sense of like his mental health.
Yeah.
Like, obviously, Heath Ledger was very meticulous, very strategic in everything he did. Mm-hmm. Joaquin Phoenix was just nuts.
Yeah.
Like, he almost, like, lucked out in a lot of scenarios. Like, at the end of the movie, conveniently, they're having, like, a Joker outrise in Gotham City. Mm-hmm. So, like, the ambulance takes... All right, we're going to stop, because that's a major spoiler.
Yeah.
No. The ending's phenomenal. So, you'll see the ending. Like, we'll wait on that. Go check it out. But then we'll talk about it, because it's fascinating.
Yeah.
Such a good ending.
Oh,
yeah. All right, so that's kind of some of the main points I had there. Anything else you wanted to touch on in the movie that we missed? I know you mentioned a few things, but
I just like the subtle things they made, like in comparison to like I don't know the comics and other Batman movies. So if you're like a Batman fan going to this movie, you're gonna notice a lot of different stuff in there, and you're gonna be like, okay. Mm-hmm. So they tie it in a lot, which is cool. I like how they did that.
So do you perceive, quick minor spoiler, Bruce's caretaker, is that a young Alfred?
I think so.
That's
what I thought it was. I'm like,
I was gonna fact check and do some ages just to be like, what is Bruce compared to, because Alfred in obviously the Dark Knight series and even like Batman Begins, he's an old dude.
Super old. Well, it's like Gotham too, the Alfred in Gotham.
Right.
It's pretty like age differences, I guess, pretty similar. The guy probably looked like he was maybe like later 30s, 40s and stuff. Right. And Bruce is how, like what? Like
7?
Like he's young, yeah. 8? So it makes sense for that much of an age gap because when he's Batman, he's obviously older.
In his 30s.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. But anyways, that was a cool little thought tidbit, just a Batman little push. There's obviously, you'll see later in the movie, the theater scene that's famous at the beginning of Dark Knight. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
You get some backstory as to why it was there.
Yeah.
That was the moment.
I was like,
I was horned. So yeah, no, if we were gonna like, obviously IMDb does percentage like 1 out of 100%. If you were gonna score this anywhere between 0 and 100%, what would you rate this movie?
I'm thinking in the 80s. I'm thinking like an 87.
87, huh? I wish I had my original notes up. I had 86, and then I changed it to 88. So you would average out to be 87. So that might be the score of the night.
Yeah.
It's a phenomenal movie. It's like right up there with, obviously, I would say slightly below Dark Knight, maybe above Dark Knight Rises, and I'm a big Batman Begins guy.
Batman Begins was okay. It was just very slow.
Oh, you're a slow guy.
It was just a little slow.
You like a little action?
I like a little more action. You could say.
I would put that between Dark Knight and Dark Knight Rises.
Between the
two. I don't know.
Yeah.
I think if the Joker didn't die, and by the Joker I mean Heath Ledger, and he came back in the Dark Knight Rises, that movie would have balled.
Cool. Tom Hardy.
Him and Bane.
Tom Hardy was cool with Bane.
Yeah.
But,
if he had both.
Yeah. Tom Hardy's stupid voices he does, but.
That's funny. All right. Well, that's Joker Talk. Check it out. Honestly, once you see it, DM me, message me. I want to talk about it more just because there's a lot of really neat things you'll see. We're going to do a few football games. Tyler's in my fantasy league. Gonna beat him down. Are we playing this week?
We are playing this
I'm
week.
gonna beat him down this week. That's factual.
Yeah, Brandon Cooks last night really didn't do too hot for me.
Well,
so
neither did Woods for me. So
I had Disley though. That was a good start.
yeah. All right. So I picked out 5 games. So we're gonna do a lock parlay. Ted and I think we're 3 for 5 last week. Kansas City lowballed there, underachieving. I always start out with the Pat spread. We're at Washington. I'm always curious to see like how accurate it's going to be. So Washington plus 16 at home. How realistic do you think that is?
Yeah, I'd say plus 16 or even over that. Patriots are probably going to win by 3 scores.
Do you think we see Haskins?
I heard McCoy.
Oh, it's going to be McCoy?
McCoy starting.
Okay.
You can't start Haskins because they're going to ruin the guy's career if they do that. I feel bad because the guy's just not ready to play yet. You got to develop him a little more.
Really? The Patriots are going to be your first start?
They're like, you're good.
They're a little Lions then. I like the Patriots by 25 in that game. It's like confident as that. I'm not a hometown. I think like
I mean, even at FedEx, I mean, there's going to be nobody in the stadium besides Patriots fans, anyways.
Right.
So
Washington's arguably as bad as Miami, if not worse. So
yeah, I think Miami has a little hope. So
yeah. All right, so that's game 1. So I think that's a lock. Pats give the points. This one's gonna be great. Packers at Cowboys. Dallas is giving 3.5. Obviously, you have Devonta Adams out, but also Dallas coming off that brutal loss versus the Saints, where they didn't really score much of any. Is the Saints defense that good?
I mean, I dropped him in my fantasy league because they just weren't doing that hot. I have them in another league, so I don't think their defense is that hot, but I think Dallas comes back with a vengeance in this game. They're playing at home. Dallas, so and Aaron Rodgers, no Devonta Adams. I mean, it is Aaron Rodgers. I mean, he has options to throw to, but no, I think Cowboys. I mean, it's going to be a close game, but I think Cowboys
win or cover.
I think Cowboys win.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think I would take the Packers plus 3.5, but I think the Cowboys potentially win. I took the Packers in our pick'em before Adams was ruled out officially.
Yeah.
I think that's a big blow, but I think that the Packers will be within a field goal. I think it's going to be a field goal game.
Yeah, their defense is really good. I mean, if the Cowboys learn to give Zeke the ball, then they probably will have a chance.
Dude, I don't even know what they're doing. He's the best in football, and they don't use him. So Packers plus 3.5, Cowboys to win. I think that's fair. You could go either way, whatever you're more comfortable with. This one we might be able to get a bet in. Bills are playing in Tennessee. Titans are giving 3 to the Bills. So I don't know how strongly you're feeling about the Titans this week.
I mean,
being a loyal Tennessee Titans fan.
Yeah, so being the fan I am, it's going to be definitely the lowest scoring game of the whole weekend, for sure. But I think the Titans can pull off the win. They're playing in Tennessee. I'm starting their defense this week in fantasy because they're probably, if Josh Allen doesn't play, it's Matt Barkley, and they're going to throw 2 interceptions minimum. But the Mariota is probably going to throw 2 interceptions as well too. So it's probably going to be like 10-7 or something like that. It's going to be a super low scoring game, and I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to be sitting there like, this is the most boring game I've ever seen in my life. Do you have NFL Network? You stream it through Reddit.
Oh, okay. Reddit. Dirty stuff comes through there. Charlotte, if you're listening, baby, do not check out Reddit. So you think 10-7, so 3 points is a spread.
Yeah.
Do you want to give me 3? We'll push at 10-7, but do we want to do $10 bet for that game? You're a Tennessee guy.
Yeah, I do it.
All right, go Tennessee. I like to take bets. I had to take Jim's money the one week he was here, so I felt bad. All right, this next one, coming off the Chiefs last weekend, their spread was 6. They couldn't cover. I'm losing a little faith in the Chiefs' team for coverage. They're going to be a 14-2 team at worst.
Yeah.
They're giving 11 at home to the Indianapolis Colts. Jacoby Brissett playing good. Do you think 11 is too little, or what are your thoughts?
I think it's too much.
Think it's too much?
I picked up Brissett in fantasy this week. Brissett is a good quarterback. And the Colts defense, I think, is very underrated, but they are playing in Arrowhead, which is a really hard place to play.
Volume.
I think it's going to be like the Baltimore game. It's going to be close, but the Chiefs are going to squeak it out because their offense is way too good, but their defense is rough.
I think it's within a touchdown game.
Yeah.
So I agree.
Yeah.
I think you take that 11, you feel very confident. I mean, at worst, you lose by 10, you cover.
Yeah.
But I think Indy's underrated. I think until the Chiefs start playing a better full package, I think they're overrated. Their defense stinks.
They have no defense.
Their
no.
defense stinks.
No, whatsoever. So even in my DraftKings league, like I'm taking guys on the Colts. Like I'm taking Brissett.
Right.
I'm taking Mac. Like
right. T.Y. will have
T.Y.'s gonna have a good game.
Yeah.
Like
Mac's a beast.
Yeah.
Wait, you said what do you do?
DraftKings.
Oh, I do.
We have a DraftKings league. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool.
So, yeah.
Cool. So yeah, that'll be interesting. I think that's a safe lock plus 11. The Monday night game I think is going to be the game of the week. This one could be super fun. Cleveland playing in San Fran. San Fran may be the most overrated 4-0 team of all time. Just like opponent-wise. I don't think they've played anyone yet.
Very weak schedule.
Cleveland's going to be a really good test. Cleveland's 2-2, but they've kind of had a tougher schedule. I don't know. I would, if you were going to bet straight up -4 or +4, what would you do in this game? I mean, or you can do money line if you just want San Fran to win, but
I would take -4 for the Niners.
Really?
My dad's a big Niners fan.
Okay.
I think I'm going to hop on that bandwagon too. I mean, Cleveland's good, but they're just so inconsistent.
Yeah.
Like against Tennessee week 1, they looked awful. But last week, they crushed it. So it's just like, it's hard to see what team's going to come out.
Right.
And I think the 49ers have been playing really consistent football right now. And their defense is extremely underrated.
I think that's going to show Cleveland's youth.
Yeah.
Because, like, they have, like, pound for pound, some of the best talent in the league.
Definitely.
You got Nicholas Chubb, who's nasty. You got Odell Beckham underachieving. Jarvis Landry hasn't even got started yet.
Yeah.
I mean, really, it's because of Baker. Like, he's just, I don't know, he hasn't looked complete yet, and I had a lot of hopes for Baker this year.
Yeah, I wanted him in my fantasy leagues and didn't get him in any, and I'm kind of glad I didn't because he's not producing.
Not to be a dick, but he's like a makeshift Marcus Mariota.
And
if Mariota had the talent that Baker has, it would be pretty comparable.
Yeah, I want Baker to be, I want him to be like the next Brett Favre, but I think he can, but he's just like, he's still getting, I don't know.
I don't know.
He's the level.
Yeah, I mean, Favre's kind of a bold statement. Obviously, you would use that with our boy in Kansas City, but
Mahomes.
Mahomes. But I mean, I think Baker's educated. He could be similar to like a Scardy or Tom Brady. Yeah. But not ever going to live up to that level. But if he was going to be like one of the two, I don't see him as a gunslinger.
They just got to be consistent, though. I mean, it helps if Chubb scores 3 touchdowns again.
Right, Chubby.
That's helped my fantasy team too. Yeah. So
no, we don't need that this week. So on that note, I was going to take Cleveland +4, but now I'm going to go San Fran money line because this dude is not beating me. So damn it! I was going to root for Cleveland too and bet on them, but you're ruining that for me. I need my work league this year, so. All right, we'll wrap with football there. So I think we're both in agreement. Patriots -16. That looks good. That's a lock. Cowboys to win. Packers with the points. If you want to go either way, I think it's safe. We're both different. So I got Bills +3, Titans -3, $10. He's going to pay me on Monday. Okay, that works. Sunday Night Football. Colts are going to take the points. They're going to cover there. The Chiefs are trash. No, they're great, but they're not going to beat them by 12. And last but not least, we have the Browns at San Fran. I got San Fran money line. He's got San Fran -4. I like it. Just to wrap up, if you were going to pick a AL and NL team, so who do you got for a World Series pick?
As much as I hate to say it, I got Yankees for AL. Mm-hmm. And for NL, I don't want to watch the World Series. If that's the case, it's going to be the Dodgers.
Whew. That's a good World
Series. I want the
Braves.
Braves, but I think it's going to be those two. Those are, the most two complete teams in baseball right now.
If this is going to happen, my boys need to get to work. I bet hard on the Washington Nats, so we need to take 3 out of 4. 4-game series, we need 3 out of 4, boys. Let's go. So I got Nats and Yankees, so we're both in agreement there. I got Nats over Yankees, but I bet on both the Yankees and the Nats. So I got the Yankees at +245. I got the Nats at, I think, +1,500. Oh, no, Yankees +425, Nats at +1,500. Yeah. So if that matchup happens, whoever wins, let's go. But I would rather see the Nats when I hate the Yanks, obviously.
Oh, yeah, definitely,
I think that we're both there with the Yankees. Screw the Dodgers. I'd rather see the Braves if that was the case.
I would too. Braves have always had a soft spot in my heart, but they just can't win in the playoffs, so it sucks.
The Cardinals just they're not good enough. But they might beat the
They
Braves.
did beat them last night.
They could beat the Braves in 5.
That's going to be the best. I think that's the best series in the ALDS right now.
That one, and then NLDS, and then the Yankees and Twins in the ALDS.
Which would be interesting. Twins are definitely underrated.
Houston in 3. So.
Yeah.
All right, let's finish this beer, or at least close to it. We're going to give it a final score, and then that'll be a wrap. Thank you guys for joining us. I'll go first because you went first before.
Yeah.
The spices are still there. It still has its flavor. Not as good as the beers that I've had of recent. They were both in like the high 7s. I'm going to give this a 6.1 out of 10. I think it's a good seasonal beer, maybe like a 7 on a seasonal scale, but overall as a beer, 6.1 out of 10. Lacking something that I want, but the spices are pretty good.
Yeah. I'm around the same too. I think I'm going like an even 6.
Even 6.1?
I'm not a huge pumpkin guy, so, I mean, it's a good beer just to sip on and everything. I mean, it's the time of year, pumpkins everywhere, so yeah, I'll have my pumpkin beer now, but it's something I wouldn't get off season and drink and stuff. I mean, it definitely has flavor to it, which is nice, but not my favorite.
It's whole bodied too, so it's interesting. But Howling Gourds, $6.99 at Trader Joe's. Pick up a 6-pack today. But yeah, I can live without it. Thanks, guys.